What's up, guys? Today we're looking at a Marshall Footswitch. It was made for Marshall amps. I thought it would work with my Ibanez TSA15H amp. I plugged it in, and as soon as I plug it in, it automatically turns the light on, both lights on, without pressing the switch on or off. And the way it connects is with this TSR connector. It's basically, you'll see it on headphones and stuff like that, but you have your sleeve, which is ground, your ring in between these black lines, it's your right channel, and then your tip is your left channel. The model of this Marshall is a PDL 91001. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, so just want to put that out there. So I took it apart, and what I found inside was the typical wiring that you would expect to see. Your black wire here is your ground, your white goes to your tip, which would be mono. Red is your ring, and that's your right channel. The way they're using it here is on this side, it's for your 6 dB boost. This side is your tube screamer. Marshall also, the way they wired theirs, it's a little different than the Ibanez, and we'll get to that in a moment. My suspicions were correct that the LEDs were complete in the circuit, and I tried adding a higher resistor to change it so that it doesn't recognize it as a closed circuit and make connection, and all it did is dim the lights, and it still acted like it was a closed circuit. These switches have 3 poles. They are latching switches. If you wanted to make them momentary, meaning that they don't stay on, you would take a jump wire like this, and you would solder it from the left to the right leg on each switch, or just one switch, whatever you wanted to do, and when you would press it, it would, cycle. It wouldn't stay on. So I jumped on Google Images, and I was hoping somebody had the inside of the wiring on the original Ibanez, and here the wires are completely different from a typical TRS connection. So you got to use an ohm meter and check for continuity between the tip ring and the ends of these wires, along with the ground. So I'm not going to get into that, but this white wire runs over to the positive leg of the LED, and then the negative leg of the LED runs to the middle leg of the switch. And then this black wire you can see is a jumper wire, and it runs from the left leg of this switch to the right leg of this switch. And in this next picture here, let's see if I bring this in a little closer, you can clearly see it jumps over here. And what kind of confused me is I don't see the black wire coming out of here, so I guess they just cut it short, and they mounted it here and jumped it here for ground. This next picture, it's in French, and I don't know French, but it is for the Ibanez Footswitch. DMG. I tried Google Translate for mass because that's what I'm assuming is the ground, and Google Translate kept coming up as Sol, and then later I found out that mass also means ground in French. So the ground runs to the right leg of the switch, jumped over to the left leg of the switch, and then your one wire, which should be your tip, and it comes over to the positive of your LED, your negative to your middle leg, and then your ring, positive leg of your LED, LED negative to your middle leg of the switch. He's using an LXR connector or a cable. This word here, which I couldn't make out, my fiance made it out, and I translated it, and it means right. So I still can't make what this one is, but I'm betting it's left, and that's in LXR wiring, and I guess he just cut the 4th wire, which is the shield, out. I'm going to rewire it, check back with yous, and let yous know if it works, and if it works, great. Then you can convert a Marshall over to an Ibanez Footswitch, or vice versa, because Marshall is quite expensive. The pedals range anywhere from $32 to $128. Okay, we're back. I got it all wired up, soldered up. Let's turn the amp on. I do want to note, Tube Screamer and 6 dB boost do not work. Neither switch works when you have the Footswitch plugged in. So let's bring the pedal up. Boost. Both LEDs are on. Tube Screamer on. Boost on. So it does work. That's the way you convert your Marshall Footswitch to work with an Ibanez, and vice versa.